Marcia Caldwell. I'm Maddie Sophia. Thanks for listening to Shortwave, the daily science podcast from NPR.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Spectrum Business. Small businesses need to find the best value. When it comes to your internet and phone, Spectrum Business provides fast speeds and reliability for up to half the price you're paying now. Call 833-919-2129.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention want students to have a normal or nearly normal return to the classroom in person. The agency has issued updated guidance for K-12 schools saying that fully vaccinated students and teachers don't have to wear masks. They emphasize the importance of vaccinations for those who want to get them. Health reporter Sheila Mulrooney-Eldred has written about this for NPR's Global Health blog, Goats and Soda. She joins us now. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
And please tell us more about these guidelines, beginning with the vaccination.
Yes, it's clear that the CDC is really encouraging anyone who's eligible to get vaccinated before the school year starts. By the way, that would be if you got your first shot this weekend. The second would be July 31st, and you'd be fully vaccinated on August 14th, and that's getting close to back to school time. So they're promoting that now. They have not, however, said anything about requiring vaccination. They're saying that's a personal choice. They hope everyone sees the science and the evidence and chooses it, but they're not offering any guidance for schools on requiring vaccination, although, of course, some colleges have done so already.
Of course, students who are 12 and under aren't eligible for COVID vaccines. What does the CDC say about what steps schools should take to keep students safe?
So they're recommending the same sort of layered prevention strategy that was in place in the spring. So that would mean physical distancing, masking, hand washing, etc. Now the difference for this school year is that they are acknowledging that in many situations 3 feet of space may not be feasible in every school district. So they're saying that if that 3 feet is not feasible, then you can rely on the other prevention strategies.
The other prevention strategies being masks, hand washing, that sort of thing?
Masks and hand washing and improved ventilation, of course, contact tracing, regular screening.
Sheila, it's the middle of summer. Families are on trips. A lot of families, extended families, are getting together for the first time in a year and a half. What can families, parents specifically, do to try and protect their children from possible infection or passing on the virus to others?
Well, again, it's encouraging people in your family and the people you might be visiting to get vaccinated, everyone who's eligible. And in that way, you're creating sort of a cocoon around the kids who are too young to be able to do so. I talked to Jill Weatherhead at Baylor in Houston about this, and she has 2 little kids, and they are traveling, and she recommends talking to your family about this ahead of time to avoid any awkward situations once you get there. You can plan your activities outside for people who may not be comfortable with indoor activities, depending on who in your group is vaccinated and who is not. But if you can encourage as many people as possible to be vaccinated, then you're lowering the risk for everyone.
Would it be fair to say that the bottom line of the CDC guidelines is that they recognize, they believe that it's absolutely important for children to get back to in-person learning, and that's a priority?
Yes, it's very clear that getting back to in-person learning is a priority. I think they're acknowledging some of the pain and suffering that kids and parents went through last year when they spent long chunks of time in distance learning.
Health reporter Sheila Mulrooney-Eldred, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks so much.
Hey everybody, for us to do independent journalism requires the support of listeners. Listeners are the ones that make it independent. It's not a huge corporation or a single person with an agenda. The goal of NPR and your local member station is simply to keep you informed with good, solid journalism. And the funding that makes that mission possible comes from listeners just like you. NPR and KPCC are here for you because of listener support, so please donate now.
Wildfire season is getting longer and more extreme in the western U.S., but fire is not just a problem in the West. The warming climate raises the risk of major fire damage almost everywhere, including normally wet New England. As New Hampshire Public Radio's Annie Ropeek reports now, forest managers warn that it could happen here.
On the edge of the White Mountain National Forest in the town of Conway, public lands with dense woods weave in and out of the backyards of houses. District Forest Ranger Jim Innes lives around here, and right now, as he digs down into the leaf litter just within the forest boundary, all he sees is fire risk.
This is just all dry leaves. Like this stuff will catch in a minute. All it would take is a cigarette or something like that, so it's dry, like all the way down. Wow, it's really dry.
Innes is crouched next to a strip of dirt that looks like a trail. It's popular with local mountain bikers and dog walkers.
That one loops all the way around the edge.
The trail is actually a fire break, kept clear by the Forest Service with leaf blowers and chainsaws. For a long time, that's been their fire prevention strategy in this area, along with cutting back some brush every few years. The hope is it would keep a fire from spreading to the condos and homes that are visible just a few hundred feet away beyond the trees. But lately, with the forest so dry, Jim Innes has felt like he should be doing more.
I just want to get ahead of it, so I don't have to be in that position to explain to these people, like, oh, sorry, you lost your house. I don't want that, obviously, with us.
New Hampshire has been in a drought for more than a year, the state's third long dry period in the past 2 decades. Scientists say climate change is bringing more rain to the Northeast overall, but it's falling in heavier bouts with longer dry stretches in between. That plus hotter temperatures, shorter winters, less snow, it all creates prime conditions for wildfires. So this summer, Jim Innes is conducting a controlled burn to clear out the dry fuels here. They'll do similar burns up and down the edge of the forest in the